this particular article is taking the idea that how can blockchain begin building trust by eliminating the need for it. The idea here with blockchain is that all the way through time, we have had to trust each other in order to get along and not have wars and just generally, cooperate with each other. There's a lot of challenges in the world where it just shows that we don't trust each other as much as we ought to. Let's say you're in an airport. And when you're in an airport, you don't expect to be confronted by anybody. You don't expect to be accosted or hurt by other people walking around. Yet everybody there are total strangers. There are probably a couple policemen wandering around making sure that everybody keeps the peace. But what is it that makes sure that nobody has a confrontation with each other? And the whole idea is simply that there are certain situations that you're in, such as the airport, where you just know that everybody there is there for a common purpose, to go out and catch an airplane and get out of there, and you end up trusting each other. So the whole idea here is that, can we get to the point where we can put systems in place where no matter what we're doing, we can trust one another in such a way that we can continue to barter and do business back and forth? Okay? Is it possible to eliminate trust as a basis for decision making? In other words, if I want to buy something from somebody, let's take an example on eBay. How many times have you thought twice about buying something on eBay because you're not sure that you're going to get the product? Or for that matter, if you're a seller on eBay and you're selling a high value item, what's to say that you're not going to sell that item to somebody and they're going to just get it and initiate a return and put a rock in place of the item in the box and ship it back to you saying that they didn't like it or it was broken in transit, and they get their money back and they keep the product? All of those kind of situations would be helped by a blockchain situation, and ultimately helped by something like Bitcoin, where the money is paid and is immutable. In other words, I would have loved it when we were selling on eBay to be able to know that when I sold something, the money was mine, and that if they returned the product, I could wait for the product to come back to me, confirm that the product was still sellable, and then return the person's money. But in that marketplace, if you've dealt with it at all, you know that eBay takes the side of the customer pretty much always. If they say they're wanting to return it, if they say it's broken, and they return a rock to you, you just lose. And you just hope that people are honest in that way. So what we're looking for is a system to develop trust and to help a situation. So is there a possibility that you wouldn't trust a blockchain? Of course. Let's say we talk to an average person on the street and we say, what do you think about cryptocurrencies? They might say something like, well, controversy or crash or risk, as it says here. They might just say, too volatile, not a good investment. It goes up and down all the time. And of course, you hear about it going down more often than you hear about it going up. But that's the nature of news. So because blockchain tends to get wrapped up in cryptocurrencies and in Bitcoin, a lot of times you can get kind of a negative opinion or a negative association. So it gets this guilt by association situation. Do cryptocurrencies use blockchain? Sure, they do. Yes. Can technology be put to other uses? Yes, it can. Is it inherently risky? No, it's not. The issue here is that while Bitcoin is risky, it goes up and down in value because it gets whipped about by the marketplace. Blockchain makes things far less risky as you deploy it and as you allow it to help you with those trust situations, as long as you deploy it correctly. Okay. So what can blockchain do for us? So it's a record-keeping, trust-building technology. With a distributed ledger feature, it securely records and distributes the data such that it can then be validated, and makes it very, very hard to hack, and makes it very, very secure. The transactions to be validated are registered in a block. Once the validation's taken place, it's added permanently to maintain chains. And because all of the chains are identical, they feature, because of the distributed ledger, it makes it possible to synchronize the data across all of the different sites and nodes. And so if one node goes down, you still have copies of the data elsewhere. So you're not stuck with, well, the data center went down, so we're just not able to process your order right now. How many times have we heard that when we've gone into a store and their computer systems have been down? So what blockchain is meant to do is to begin building trust. And so the whole idea of blockchain initiatives is to begin helping people to converse with each other. As we do so, it begins to build relationships and build trust between different users. You have the situation where what we're trying to do is build the possibility of online commerce. And online commerce has been very difficult, especially in the global areas. There's always predators out there in the business marketplace that are willing to be predators and take advantage of people who are new to the market, or people who are new in business, or that don't have the resources to protect themselves. What blockchain is going to do is it's going to increase the ability of all people to continue to converse with one another and make everything much more reliable. And the end point of all that is that it ends up making things much less expensive, because you don't have the graft, you don't have the waste, you don't have the theft, you don't have the problems that currently exist, especially in the international marketplaces. So as we go over more of these case studies, you're going to see that each of these blockchains do that one particular thing, as they build trust. All right, so hopefully you've enjoyed this article, and I hope you hit that subscribe button, and we'll move on to the next article.